Hello everyone, my name is Christian. I'm the founder of Seagull. You can check it out on seagull.com. And today I want to speak the truths about vibe coding. Why can I speak about it? Because this platform with which I already generated revenue has been 100% or like 95% been vibe coded. Look, this is just the landing page. Here you have the full product. You have a working product. I'm going to speak a bit more about my personal project during this video. It might turn out to be a pretty long video, so but fuck it, no, I'm not going to say sorry because I'm providing value here, okay? And I believe that if you want to start your own vibe coded project, you should really take notes, especially when I'm going to give them. Because right now, let's speak a bit in a general way about vibe coding. What is vibe coding? Well, as AI developed, it became more and more capable, and that's when vibe coding appeared pretty much. It means that you now can give orders to AI to code instead of you, and you pretty much become the chef of the project. As in, you give the ideas, you give the direction, you make the small changes, you make the small corrections, but AI is doing the heavy lifting for you. It's doing the heavy work. Like, for example, here, I obviously had to have some imagination of what the platform will look like, what are the features I want to see on my platform, but the way it actually works on the front end side, on the back end side, well, it's all built by AI. And trust me, it may sound a bit difficult at first, and it obviously will require some work and sometimes a bit more work, especially patience, okay? Because when you vibe code, you need patience. All right, so vibe coding. On the internet, you hear it as this new way of building, this new way of making money as well, but it seems almost to be presented like a black box. And what is a black box? Well, you put stuff into the black box and it outputs something, it gives you something back, but you don't really understand how it works. Okay, you don't understand what's the process behind this black box. Well, this is pretty much vibe coding, right? And I want to turn this black box into something more clear, into maybe like a sort of factory that you as the chef, you as the boss can understand. One of the biggest myths that you hear about vibe coding is that, look, you have the idea, in 3 days you will have the project in production ready, you're going to be able to sell it, you're going to be able to have well, your platform will be able to support like, I don't know, 100,000 users. That's false, okay? That's false. First of all, sometimes AI just doesn't fucking work, okay? It's like, I don't know, bro. It has a lot of feminine energy in it. And what I mean by that is that sometimes you just change one word and it will make it work. You ask it nicely, it will make it work. But if you start insulting it, it won't. Okay. But whatever, we're going out of subject right now. Yeah, so the first biggest myth that we hear on the internet about vibe coding is that it's going to do all the work for you. That is true. However, you need to consider it like a very stupid, and yet very smart developer. I mean, it's a bit different. It's a bit difficult to understand it. You have to imagine that vibe coding is pretty much treating a 6-year-old that has all the knowledge, all right? It has all the knowledge to create absolutely incredible stuff, okay? But you need to tell it exactly the way that you want the things to be. And when you're vibe coding, and take notes of this, I wish I would have known this because I would have probably launched my product in 2 weeks, not in 4 weeks, plus the little development. You need to know exactly what the platform is going to look like, what are the features, how is the data connected, pretty much all the structural stuff. around your project. And in order to do this, you can also use AI, and you will pretty much create the blueprint, the plan. You need a plan when doing this. Why? Because as you go further and further and further, as you're adding new functionalities, you will realize that if your foundation, if the fundamentals aren't solid, you will pretty much get fucked at the end. And that is why my first tip when vibe coding is get a plan, okay? Get it as clear and as in detail as possible, because this will not this won't only make it easier on the long run, but it will also make it easier for you to start. Because once you know what's the first step, what are the first three actionable takes that you can do, well, you already know what you have to do. The only thing that's making you not advancing the project is not doing it. It's not knowing what to do. It's not doing it. So that's the very first tip. Let's go back a little bit, and I will speak about my project. And the second tip, or the second consideration that I want you to take, is that don't be afraid to have a very shitty product at the beginning. Like, don't be afraid to have a ugly UI. Maybe even this is ugly in some way, right? Like, I tried adding some animations. I tried making it pretty clean and stuff. Whatever. Now, I looked up some of my deployments of my project. One second. There we go. This is what my project looked like. First of all, we had a different name, but that doesn't matter. It's all the data. Discover all the data about SaaS competitors. This is what Seagull focuses on. But we also help you start your own vibe coded project. Why? Because you can discover plenty of companies using our filter system. For example, 3D modeling softwares, early stage companies, because you want to know the new players in the game, right? Canvas, that's not Canva. All right, let's go Style 3D. Okay, look, if you want to launch a new product in the 3D modeling software, you already know what type of, for example, here they have like a freemium business model. You know how much they're making. That's an estimated MRR per month, per year. What's their conversion rate, the bounce rate, the pages per visit, a lot of metrics that will be super helpful. Why? Because you will know if you're doing it correctly or not. If you see that your competition has way higher metrics, like for example, way higher pages per visit, or a way lower bounce rate, with bounce rate being pretty much the percentage of people who just leave your website right away after visiting it. You can also get, like for example, the monthly traffic trend, which is the historical traffic on the website. So you can see, all right, is there like a positive trend, a negative trend? Do I really want to launch a new product in this market? The traffic sources to inspire yourself to where to get your traffic from. Top countries, in this case, CN. I don't actually know what is CN. Let's say CN. China? Let's say it's China, right? I don't know, bro. Okay, I vibe coded this stuff. Come on. And we also help you to build the software because, and how, wait, so how do we do this? Well, using these metrics and using some of the sauce, okay, behind it, we will provide you with a full prompt that does all the planning and all the blueprint stuff I was talking about. Like, look, for example, here, I will start the demand for the lovable prompt that you can use on different vibe coding platforms. This will pretty much set up all the stuff I was talking about. Get in as much as much detail as possible so that you won't regret it later. Like look here, for example, target users, core values, value proposition, key features, monetization and pricing strategy, key metrics, positioning and messaging, MVP scope, roadmap, priorities, user acquisition, acceptance criteria, deliverables. You have everything you need to start a proper vibe coded project, right? That's my little marketing over there. But let's go back to my project and the second tip, which is don't be afraid to have a shitty product. Okay, don't be afraid. Look, I started on lovable.io, I believe. I did this, all right. It's not super great, but I had this idea. I had the idea. Look, I had the idea, and it was working. I could put any website and it would give me all these metrics. Obviously, here we still didn't implement the estimated revenue that are generating every single month. Like it's a bit weird to only have one country. This is just the demonstration data. However, as the month went on, we went into something a bit more interesting. Like here, for example, Zelta Data, we already had a sign up and a sign in a system inside our platform. Then we went even further. I believe this is a snapshot. I'm not exactly sure, but look, see, like Shop Hunter. Yeah, because we really wanted to sort of copy the whole idea, but in the SaaS market. We changed colors, added and fixed some bugs, added bugs too, obviously, right? And this is one of the one of the checkpoints that we mostly use for marketing. Look, don't be afraid to use something that's pretty simple because sometimes this is the best stuff that works with marketing. And right now that I'm getting back into marketing, I'm really considering to use this sort of UI because in a video, if you show this, it might be a bit too aggressive, you know? However, if you have this, every SaaS number you need on one dashboard. That's super clear. The messaging is clear. You have very clean UI. Like, don't be afraid to do so. And at the end, there we go. We have a fully built with vibe coding application, platform, whatever you want to call it. It's a SaaS that gives you information about other SaaS. And it fucking works. Why? Because of the third tip, patience. Okay? Patience. You don't need to be super smart when you vibe code. You need to have the right imagination, the right idea that you can confirm with my platform or with internet or whatever. You need to have the patience. Why? Because vibe coding, it's really about trying to argue and trying to get your message right to the AI. It's very important to have a great foundation, right? But as you go on, the small little habits that you took, okay, that you have, for example, not saying in a very clear way what your goal is with this new feature, well, that will make you take maybe like 3 times as long as compared to someone who has a very clear AI prompting. Like that's called prompt engineering. Just get the basics, right? Get the basics, like give it a role, be super specific about whatever you want. Maybe sometimes explore the code itself, just so you understand it. With one second, let me just do this npm run dev. Right now, I honestly really recommend you to get Cursor. Why? Because Cursor is super fucking great. All right, you can literally build almost anything you want with Cursor. All right, so here you have the development. One second, there you go. Yeah, we're good. Here we have the development version of my platform. I will go in and log in. All right. One second. All right, wait. Let me actually go over here. Are we good? Yes, we. I know why it doesn't work. Shit. But whatever. Like, go go with cursor. It will make you save a lot of time. Like, let's say you're building the interface, where what we call the front end is pretty much where your user is interacting with your application. Well, look, bro, you just launch it here. I will make another video about this. Like you can tell it, okay, look here, this data over here, it's not correct. Please change this text. It's not good. I don't like this button's color, whatever. So these are the three biggest tips that I can give about vibe coding. All right. I could go in much more detail, my bad. When it comes to it, I probably will, but keep these in mind. Great fundamentals, all right, great fundamentals. Second point, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to have a shitty product at first. As long as you're making progress, you will build something, right? And third point, patience. Patience and know how to communicate with AI. Does vibe coding work? Absolutely. Is it as easy as it's being presented on the internet? Absolutely fucking not. But everything presented on the internet is easy, isn't it? Like drop shipping, drop coursing, trading, everything seems so simple. And yet, when you start to do it, you just realize, all right, maybe grass is always greener elsewhere. This is the case with vibe coding. But right now, AI has reached the point where it can do most of the stuff that the developer can do, but it cannot do it without yourself, without you. Not no, it cannot do it on itself. It needs you. That's why you're here. You're here to be the boss. You need to direct it in the right direction. Make the decisions, the very important decisions when it comes to colors, when it comes to features, when it comes to UI. It can give you some general stuff, right? But you need to consider it. And yeah, patient, my friends. See you.